Good morning. Good morning. How does it sound out there? Probably bad, right? Does it sound bad? I can't tell what's going on here. Is it coming in? Yeah, it's quiet. So what can we do about that? Sounds fine. It's something's not right. Quiet, yes. It sounds good. I'd like to make it louder. Let me see if I could punch it up on this end. Checking 1, 2. Does that make a difference, or does it just make it it's a little hot? It's a little hot. Everyone says it's pretty good, but my Aristotle and Doug are both not here yet, so it could be an interesting show. Oh, hey, there you are. Hi. You're almost all set over there. I think you just need to plug into the focus right. Is that I couldn't remember if it's out or in. I'm so nervous about playing music now because of all my copyright infringements. I figure I'll just play some APM music here. Getting the show started in a few minutes, folks. Stand by. Hey everybody, 1, 2, 1, 2. Take a listen to that. See how we're doing. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're listening to some free APM, free music online. It's just a track called Southern Rock. Is there anything better than Southern rock? Rock and roll, that's how it goes. Anything better than Southern rock? Oh, here's a Beatlesque song with swirling melodic phrases called I'm Sorry. Let's take a listen to I'm Sorry from Free Music Production. Ooh, it's Beatlesque. It's a Beatlesque morning.
Moved on, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If you haven't moved on, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Your time is up, and it's too late for never-ending love. Life is disappearing, and the kids are appearing in the windows of the people I used to know. If you haven't moved on, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If you haven't moved on, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. 'Cause life is short, I'm holding on to a never-ending dream. And that's never gonna change. It's never gonna change. Whoa. And that's never gonna change. It's never gonna change if you haven't moved on. I'm sorry, baby. And that's never gonna change.
Okay, here we go.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. 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 What's happening?
Good morning, Vietnam! And other islands, other countries, other sovereign nations out there. Welcome to the big show. We're going to switch over to the live feed. Where is that? Where are you, baby? The live video feed. D-digga-dee-dee. What? Oh, I see what's going on. Yow down. Stand by, everybody. Trying to find some. Good morning, Doug or Lucy P. Where are you, Doug? You're hiding behind my head here. Can you adjust? Here, me.
Over here.
You see what I mean?
Over here.
Can you see? You got to go that way a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Hi, buddy.
This is way farther than
I don't know. Something got screwed up. You know, we moved the whole operation.
Just take that camera and just tap it to the left.
Do. All right, hold on a minute. No. Like that? I think you still could kick over a bit. It's a lot of me. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. Everyone say it's too hot, right? It's too hot, man. But then Amanda says, I can't believe the sound is actually good today.
The audio is too hot.
It's like right on the peak.
Is mine lower than yours?
Of course, as it should be. As it should be.
Throw him to the floor. Throw him to the floor.
Was that Python you're doing this morning? You're doing Python drops on me?
It actually was automatically.
I knew it, man. I know every line. I know every. You name.
I've never seen that one.
You
can't turn me up. I shouldn't be lower.
No, it's just because your headphones are low. Dope.
No, but yours are louder in my phones.
That's because I have a better speaking voice. I'm a professional radio broadcaster. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Doug, you're right where I am, baby. I don't know what else to tell you. Can you hear yourself?
How's the EQ? My EQ is like...
You're welcome to come over here and take over the engineering of this show. I'm done.
It's a different mic. It's like you press the gas, the same amount on my Ferrari is the same amount on your Chevrolet Volt.
Are we going to start the year like this, bickering like two old hags?
This is yours.
I'd love to hear more of you, Doug. Anyways, we are here. We are live. It seems to be working more or less. Lots to discuss. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a great break, a great holiday. If you traveled, I hope you were safe. I hope nobody was in any plane crashes. I didn't read about any plane crashes. I didn't read about any.
They don't really happen.
They happen every once in a while. And I hope to God, if there has been a plane crash,
none of you listening word in it.
That wasn't reported for whatever reason. Who knows? There's a lot of reasons I could come up with. I hope none of my audience was on that flight. I really do, because we have such a small audience, and it would be a lot. If one person died in a plane crash, that would represent that's like 1% of my audience right there, gone.
You know, I almost went to the Southeast Asia. My parents and my family were out there.
Yeah, you were disinvited.
No, I didn't want to go because all those planes fly off into the sunset.
Yeah, they never come back. You never hear. You hear a lot about people going on trips to the Southeast Asia islands and to Europe and to Australia, all these other places. But you never hear about
countries.
But you never hear about them coming back.
They don't come back.
You never hear about them come back. All right, let's take a call and see if that works. Can you imagine?
And also, what works?
To see if the calls work.
Oh, I see.
I mean, that's the whole point of the show. Office hours, the doors are open. Of course, I have a lot to talk about, but I want to get to you. Aristotle, is there anybody on the line? So nobody's calling. That doesn't make any sense. That's never happened before.
Everyone's New Year's resolution was not to call anymore.
That could be. It could be. But I don't imagine that's the case. I think we have technical difficulties. I know, like, Phil, somebody, there's usually a line a mile long, people calling in. So there's something going on with the system. The real Tim Heidecker at Skype is the only way to get in touch with us at this point. I apologize for that. We've tried other methods, but because of the bings and the bongs, it's not possible. You just send one through. When you have one, I will plug quickly. On Cinema Live is coming to the San Francisco.
You can be patient.
That's loud. Let me see.
I'll ride. I have to ride mine because there's different volumes everywhere. Don't turn me low.
San Francisco this Saturday, January 12th, at the Palace of the Fine Arts is on Cinema Live.
Wow.
That is big. We've done these shows in Portland, Seattle, New York, Boston, Philly, and now we're coming to, where again? San Francisco, part of Sketch Fest.
Sketch Fest.
Are you going to be up there for Sketch Fest, which apparently goes on for several years every year?
Yes. I'll be on there next year.
Oh, good. Next year.
But it's part of this year's.
Are you going up there for anything?
No, I don't know what's going on with my... I don't do anything.
Somebody says my Skype is offline.
If anyone's out there, book me.
Stottle, it says Skype is offline.
I switched it from away to back online.
Okay, let's see if what's happening there. I'll take questions from the chat. Tim, have you seen The Favorite? I did. I had a wonderful time in Philadelphia before Christmas. I opened up for the War on Drugs on 3 nights, and thank you for anybody that came to see those shows. That was an exciting experience. And I had nothing to do all day. It was rainy and cold, and I was staying right by the old Ritz 5 and the Ritz Bourse Theater in Philadelphia, where I used to go and see many movies. And I saw 2 movies. 2 days, 2 movies. I saw The Favorite, which I loved. I thought that was really good, really weird, eccentric, funny, strange, entertaining. And then I saw Roma, which just destroyed me. I thought it was the best movie of the year, maybe the best movie of the past several years. I got to see that in the theater and wept like a little baby boy.
I watched it.
You didn't like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie.
I wouldn't take best, but...
Did it move you?
It's well done.
Did it move you?
A little moved. I got a little...
It's upsetting.
I got swelled up. My eyes swelled up a little bit.
Okay. Good to hear. I'm glad you're alive, man.
I'm not a psychopath, Tim.
Sometimes you got to check in with yourself and see what's moving you. Sometimes you walk through with just a stone cold heart. Anything going on? Oh, we got a call. Who's there?
Hey, Tim and Doug.
Well,
Phil.
I knew Phil would be here. That's why I knew something wasn't working. Because if there's anybody that's calling in, it's Mr. Braun.
That's right. Happy New Year, guys.
Where are you? Where are you? You're a little quiet, but I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're all good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year, guys. And y'all were talking about planes a little earlier. The other thing you don't hear a lot about is the Bermuda Triangle.
It kind of faded from our conspiratorial mind. What's the latest?
Planes getting sucked into that thing all the time, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. It used to be a huge problem.
Well, the airlines know to avoid it. I think the airlines don't even get near that mess. They got alternate
they're flying
routes
around it now?
There was that flight from...
this theory about the Bermuda Triangle is that the methane gas bubbles come out, and that makes planes drop.
Boom. Why do they come out there? There's a special...
There's something going on under the ocean down there, yeah.
Now, I saw the movie The Meg over the holiday as well, because I'd never seen that. It was on the flight. I watched it on a plane I was on. And there, apparently, in that movie, there's at the bottom of the ocean floor is a layer of methane gas. It's not the bottom. It's a cloud layer. This is totally fictional, science fiction, I suppose.
What is this, The Meg?
The Meg. It's about the giant shark.
Oh my god.
Did you see this?
No.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was a fun movie. It was a big, big shark. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, the size of 2 houses.
Wait, why would you call your shark movie Meg?
Because it's a megadopolis or something like that?
Megalodon.
I would think Meg Ryan when I think the Meg.
I do too.
I don't think sharks.
I think of Meg Ryan every morning, baby, when I wake up. Bang! Wake up hard from Meg. I was fun. You had Rainn Wilson playing kind of a creepy or like kind of a bad tech billionaire, like an Elon Musk type. I mean, it was a garbage movie, but it was fun for the plane. Anyways, so they're saying that there's this methane layer, not methane, some kind of layer of gas, but below there is a whole world of creatures that have been kept underneath the layers. Yes, it's Jaws-esque. And then they went down there, penetrated that layer, and that unleashed the Meg into the world as we know it. Jeez. Okay.
Well, they could have just not went down there and wouldn't have had a problem. Wouldn't have had a movie.
Well, but it was an incredible scientific discovery they found. No one believed them, but they went down there and they got down there and they got through that. They penetrated it.
So they figured it out. It sounds like they've solved the problem.
It was a major scientific discovery. I mean, and when I mean major, I mean major.
Pretty big. What do
right.
you think about this 70% income tax thing that I see floating around social media these days?
You know, I never understand taxes. It really confuses me. I would love for somebody to sit me down. I feel like I didn't get this. I missed this day in civics class or social studies or whatever, but I really don't understand. I pay my taxes like a good American citizen. I pay a lot of taxes. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. But
well, I'd love to hear someone's explanation on it too. So,
I want to hear your what is your opinion on it, Phil?
It sounds like a non-starter to me. I think even if there's some actual real solutions that we don't quite understand are there, I don't think anybody in the country is going to go for it. And I think if that's what Democrats are going to stand on, it's going to go nowhere.
Well, you got to, it's a negotiating technique. You start at 70 and you compromise somewhere down in the middle. But wasn't that the tax rate during some of our most prosperous years as a country?
Well,
how do you argue against that then, Phil?
I've seen that too, but I think also back in the days of Eisenhower and FDR, there were different loopholes as well where you could pretty much write off every single thing you spend on. So you know, if you're building a hen house in your backyard or whatever they were doing back in the 40s, you could write that off as a tax exemption.
But also, aren't we talking about this is 70% on the money above like $10 million? So somebody's making like the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th $million you make. That's what's taxed at that higher rate.
Right.
I mean, that seems who cares? I mean, if you're making $10 million, if you're making $20 million a year, you're not seeing all that top money. You're not doing anything with that money. It's just sitting there in an account accruing interest.
Right.
You don't need that. You don't need that.
And it's not going to affect you or I probably. And
it might affect me if this movie Us goes to the top of the charts, baby, and I become the next Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks.
70% sounds insane, though.
Well, it does. I don't know.
That's insane. Here's my question. Why do you?
And if this next election cycle you're trying to win over the undecideds, or you're trying to get the Republicans who are dissatisfied with Trump, if you start throwing out 70% numbers, they're just going to turn you off.
All right. Well, Phil, you're the expert. I don't want to get into an argument with you. I don't know. Like I told you at the beginning of this chat, I got Jon Glaser calling in. You like Jon Glaser?
I love Jon Glaser. Delocated was one of my favorite shows of all time. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it work so when he FaceTimes me, it comes up here. But I don't know. It might be a mess. Call voice. Anyways, it's gonna be a total mess. But anyway,
Phil, what do you think about a flat tax? Why can't we just do that?
I think the flat tax is a great idea.
Everything that's flat, you tax it. You buy a plate,
Herman
it gets
Cain,
taxed.
Cain's 999.
They've studied this, Phil. The experts have studied this. It affects poor people more than more affluent people, and it's a terrible idea.
No income tax, just flat tax everything that's purchased.
How about we just keep borrowing money from China and not worry about it? Just keep racking up the debt. You know, it's a boring conversation, Phil. Taxes.
It's stuff we
got to move it along.
Be discussing because we don't know.
So we don't know, and I hate when people start talking about shit they don't know anything about.
True.
I do it all the time, but I still hate it. So stop those chickens. It's stressing me out.
You guys got to start talking about something better. Give me something to work with.
Let me take another call. Wow. Who's next? Anybody there?
Can we get Alan Greenspan on here?
Get Alan. Hello?
Wow.
Who's this?
This is Kevin.
Hello, Kevin. I have to warn you that I will be getting a call from Jon Glaser in a few minutes, so I might have to cut you off, but we're trying to keep the show going. So how can I help you today?
Well, Eric Wareheim is
This show is loose.
He's ready.
I like that.
I like that cutoff. Ari's got it down pat.
This show is loose. I like that.
Okay, who's next?
This is the...
Who's up?
Who there?
This Nick.
This is crack.
Hey, Nick.
Rock cocaine.
I like that stuff.
What you got for me today, buddy?
Hey, man, I wanted to know.
Gotta go.
Could be wrong. But
okay, sorry, I got to take this call. Glaze?
Hi, Tim.
Hey, Glaze.
Getting closer to that mic.
Tim.
Yeah, listen, I run a total shit show here, so if you can imagine me, I've got my speakerphone on my phone plopped up on the top of this microphone so people can hear you, but it's worked in the past. Where are you? Okay. And let's just make this quick because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't have much to say to you, to be honest.
It's a pretty rough start.
Yeah.
Let's make this quick. I don't have much to say to you. God damn.
Yeah.
Why bother? You know what? Why bother?
No. I do want to say something to you. First, let's get the plug out of the way, because that's why you're calling, not because you have any sort of allegiance to my show or my audience. But
I don't.
You are responsible for one of the greatest TV shows, probably of since the invention of the television, in my opinion. What's it called again? True TV. It's called True TV.
It is called Jon Glaser Loves Gear.
Jon Glaser Loves Gear.
Jon Glaser, yeah.
And this is season 2, and we're all excited.
I love the character you do where you mispronounce things. It's fun.
Well, it makes it easy.
I'm in a car right now passing a pet place called Lickers and Sniffers.
Ew.
Pet service. Yeah, what a horrible, horrible name.
Yeah, that sounds sexual. Perverted.
Just call it buttholes.
That's right.
Pet service.
So you're in a car. Car service? Is True paying for the car service?
Absolutely they are.
And you're on a junket. You're on a media blitz.
Yes, of 2 things today.
Wait, the Turner people didn't set you up at with an interview with HollywoodLife.biz or something like that, where they sit you in a closed restaurant and somebody takes their recorder out and talks to you for an hour?
Is that how it works? I actually just did a photo shoot.
You did a what?
I did a photo shoot at a food website, and I got to have a free sub. That was pretty good.
A free sub from Blimpies, or
from City Subs.
Ooh.
Spot in Brooklyn.
I'm a hoagie guy, so there we will depart on our preferences.
What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference, Tim?
A hoagie and a sub.
I had a hoagie when I was in Philly, and it was bad. It was a bad hoagie.
What's a hoagie and what's a sub? What's the difference?
I really don't know. It's meat and cheese on a long roll.
One's a licker, one's a sniffer.
Yeah, that's right. So, what were you do? Did you do the wrap-up show? This is the
pretty good callback, right?
So yeah, you've tied it all together. So my show basically focuses when I get celebrities call in, I talk about their own the other press they're doing because nobody asks. So like I saw you did Colbert, or are you doing Colbert? Fun. And
I did it last night.
Now, if you did Conan. He's not asking you about your Colbert appearance. That gets missed. That gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So now
the talk shows are weird. They sometimes don't even want to show clips because it's on another network.
Why do you feel like these shows always feel like they're in a rush? Like they're always like, all right, well, we gotta get through that, and thanks for coming. And there's it's so stressful. It's very stressful to be on it. And then I feel like it creates a stress, and it creates a tension and a stress for the audience too, because it's like, what's the rush?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you ever watch?
Colbert's pretty good. And you don't feel super rushed. It was actually pretty fun and easy to do, and thankfully I know him, so it made it more enjoyable rather than just go into some strange place and try to do this thing.
Yeah. Do you ever watch those old Dick Cavett shows? Dick Cavett shows on YouTube?
Really?
Not really?
Way more relaxed?
They're really relaxed and to the point of like a snooze fest. He has like Groucho Marx on there.
We couldn't get much higher.
And they just, what are you talking, Doug? You know Doug Lucenhop? You know Doug Lucenhop?
No.
I feel like we've met.
We might, maybe, but he can't hear what I was doing.
I want to say something to you, John. I don't know if I've ever told you this in person. But now that I have you on my show, I feel like it's interesting, perhaps.
Oh, boy.
I remember seeing you many years ago at Tinkle's in New York at that show that, was it called? No, yeah, it was called Tinkle. I saw you at Pianos during a show that was called Tinkle. And
we did Tinkle at Pianos.
Right. And you were there with David Cross and John Benjamin and Todd Barry. And
they were the hosts. They were the hosts of the show.
They were the hosts, but you did a bit where you were part of it was you and somebody else were a part of a dance group, I can't remember what kind of dance group it was, but the other people died in a van crash or something along the way.
Oh.
Do you know, was that a bit you had done a lot, or is that just that one night I got to see?
I think that was maybe, I had only done that bit. That was me and Vernon Chapman.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was, we had probably done it twice. The first time we did it was actually, I think, in LA, years before that.
Oh, wow.
And we were this sort of like tumbling team, and we formed a big pyramid. And I think the premise, was that we were on our way there, and the other guys they were in a really bad car wreck, but we were going to try to. They were all in the hospital, but we were going to try to do this thing, and we were sort of the lower right corner of the pyramid, and so we still we owed it to these guys to do the show.
Right.
We stood there on stage, locked arms, and then just had music play.
Yeah.
And we just sat there while the music played for probably a couple minutes, I think, and then it finally ended, and then someone came on stage, I think, as a detective and said they all died.
Oh, yeah.
Was that sound right?
Yeah, that was it. But I think overall in general, I remember for maybe for years after that, I felt very intimidated by you because you seemed to be like the best, one of the best. I felt, and you have a bit of a, you're kind of a tough guy, kind of a tough exterior, a warm man, but we didn't know each other. I would see you, I said, well, that guy seems like in another league. He seems like, one of the greats, and I better stay away. But then I feel like we've become friends.
Yeah, I always kind of felt the same. Maybe we're all too busy thinking everybody's so unapproachable.
Yeah.
And not friendly, but we're all just really scared and shy, and it manifests itself in this kind of hardened exterior.
I think that might be the case. Because I think if you would meet me on the street, I am a fairly agreeable guy. I'm nice and polite. Not all the time. Doug, you know that I can get hot.
You can get red hot.
I'd love to see you get hot.
I got hot on the tennis court a couple weeks ago because somebody, John, do you tell me what you would have done? We're playing tennis. The game was almost over. We had like, it was like 9:59 a.m. and we were in mid play with a final point on the line, and the couple after us come onto the court and speak and say, "Excuse me, it's 10 o'clock," while we're playing. And I lost it. That's out of line, right?
While the ball was bouncing.
I would lose my mind on that.
Yeah, that's what I did. I lost it. Excuse me? We're in the middle of play here.
God.
Yeah, I lost it.
Let the point in.
Yeah,
Did you give him any sort of heads up, like, hey, I know it's almost 10. This is our last point. Sorry.
I almost did that, and I didn't because we were in the middle of play. But it was.
To be fair, let me play, devil's advocate. You could have just given him a quick heads up.
I did. I should have.
That does not excuse their behavior.
No. Next time I'll know.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
But what happened was because I was playing doubles with my boys, and I lost it a little bit. I saw total red. You see total red, and I kind of snapped at him. But then I saw that it was amusing the other guys, so I dug in. I kept going. I returned.
When you say your boys,
my crew.
Children are like,
no, my crew, my dudes, my men, my boys. Anyways, well, listen, John, I think I should let you go. It's been a pleasure, and
don't say you should let me go. I'm good. If you want to hang up, that's totally fine.
Right.
I'm not offended.
No,
like that.
Are you accusing me of being?
That makes it seem like he's trying to leave.
Are you accusing me of being passive aggressive here, and putting the ball in your court that it's on you? Well, no, John. The thing is, it's a call-in show, and I do have a lot of listeners that want to call in, and
for sure.
And that's just how it goes. And I wish it was different. I wish I had a Mark Maron long form where we could really dig into your your childhood, where you grew up.
And we don't need to do that. I plugged my show.
Yeah, you did your due diligence. And we do have a $25 stipend for you appearing on the show, which I'll be getting out in the mail to you.
That's great.
You can either accept it or you can defer it. It's up to you.
Wow.
So you let me know if you prefer to defer it. A lot of guests, we've had John C. Reilly on, a number of people, they choose to defer it because it's like I'm plugging the show and everything. But we do have the stipend, so it's up to you. And we'll just.
Can I keep it or donate it to charity or something?
You can do whatever you want with it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do donate to charity. Most people do defer it and just say no. So. And we always update the audience on who defers and who accepts the stipend. So,
It's weird.
Okay. Just let me know. Just text me or email me or whatever you feel more comfortable doing within the next, it usually takes me a week to get the checks out. So, let me know.
Yeah, I'll wait till I get the check and then I'll kind of give it some thought.
Oh.
I'll either send it back or I'll tear it up.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Tim, you should put a self-addressed stamped envelope, send it back, so you could.
Well, let me know before I get the
books.
check out, just so I don't have to waste a bunch of ink and.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
It's a waste of paper. It's a waste of the stamp. It's really
Go paperless.
The fuel that the post office airplane has to fly it to New York, and it's a waste all around.
Okay, buddy. I love you, and enjoy the rest of your. Enjoy the rest of the year. I probably won't see you till next year sometime.
Probably not till 2020.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Tim, remember...
People are upset about something on the boards. I don't understand what it is, but I don't know. So you know what? Someone's saying that was so boring, but it was just a regular interview with a great comedy guy. Should I not look at these message boards? It's bumming me out. Can I take another call from the crew? From the crew, my boys.
Remember when we... someone's on here?
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
This is Tom calling from Jersey.
Oh, yo, Tom, what's going on? Nothing. All right, cool. Thanks for calling. Thanks for checking in.
Pedophile.
Again, what are these people doing with their lives? All right, they're just, we're getting overrun with these people, and they're having a good time. I'm happy they're having a good time. Who's there? I feel like if I would, hello, how can I help you?
Hello?
Yes?
Tim.
Who's this? Identify yourself.
This is another Tom, but all the way from Melbourne, Australia.
Okay. Are you going to be a reasonable boy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What's up, Tom?
Not a lot. How you doing?
I'm hot. It's hot in here. You feeling this?
Yeah, energy? Yeah.
Live in Los Angeles. Actually, I wanted to say that I moved to Los Angeles in 2007, and on my first night in Australia, I watched Tim and Eric. And
are you following any of that? Because he said I moved to Los Angeles in 2007. My first night in Australia.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense, homie.
You got to clean that up.
Clean it up. Take it from the top.
I grew up in Australia, and then.
Oh, wait, so your first day on Earth in Australia, you saw what?
No, I grew up in Australia, and then I lived in Australia for 15 years of my life, and then I moved to Los Angeles, and on the first night I saw Tim and Eric, and...
Okay, so what, man? Everybody has experiences.
Sure, I just wonder if my sense of humor would be different if I didn't see that. Anyway, I have a real question for you.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
Please.
Okay, both for Doug and Tim, do you have a first memory you can think of? Is there a first memory?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Believe it or not. Most people are thinking, well, that's not a good question. It actually is. Doug?
I do, yeah. When I was 1 year old.
One?
Yeah. I was about 9 months. I said to my mom, what is the military-industrial complex, Mom? What does that mean? What did Ike mean by that? That's my first thing.
Right. Well, I guess mine, I do remember the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan, which would have been 1980. Would have been 4. I remember seeing that on TV, and a lot of commotion going on there. I have a very rich, detailed dream I have from when I was very, very young that I always remember. It scared the shit out of me.
I had one of those too.
Yeah, I had this dream that I was in my living room of my old house, and I must have been 3 or 4 or 5 or somewhere around there. And my mom it was just her head, and there was just her head on the top of the sofa where the cushions are, and we were leaving the house, and it was like, and we had to leave her there because obviously she couldn't go anywhere because she didn't have a body. She just had a head, and we just were like, I felt bad for her. I felt sort of sympathetic, and I felt that this is a terrible thing. So that's a weird, I don't know, you can analyze that. We got psychologists on the calls. Call in, let me know what's wrong with my brain.
Tim, that's funny. That reminds me when I was a kid, one of my early memories is a dream too. And it's kind of a similar thing where I got abandoned by my parents. Like we're in their car, and I grabbed a piece of grass, and it yanked me out of the car, and then I was trapped in this scary house. And my parents were nowhere to be found, and it was scary. What do you think about that, Tim?
I think like most people did when they were listening to my dream story, probably tuned out. Anyways, all right, let's take another call and see who's on the line. Hello? Hey, turn off your stream, please, if we're going to...
Sorry. Jesus Christ.
Easy with the language, you motherfucker. You piece of shit.
Oh, man.
What's going on?
Hi, Doug.
Sorry, I kind of jumped in there. I get excited about ideas, and I sort of jump in.
Do you have?
I have a little reverb on there.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's going on, man? Who is this? What's your story? What do you got for me?
My name is Francis. I don't have much of a story. I'm here in LA. I'm just visiting. And I'm the goddamn biggest fan of both of you guys.
Great.
And excuse my language.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Where are you visiting from?
I just bought a house in Chicago.
Okay.
So I'm coming from Chicago.
So you're coming from Chi-Town,
Yeah.
and you're living there, and you just bought a house, and you're living in Chicago.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Okay. Any questions or anything else?
Man.
Okay. Well, listen. Thanks for calling.
Any questions?
You really elevated the show.
Any questions?
I love what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you.
It's just the best. It's just the best thing ever.
Oh, you're the best.
Okay. Bye.
Good luck with your house.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, Doug. Doug, do you see your coffee over there? Yeah, baby. I got that for you.
Thank you, Tim.
I paid Doug in coffee to do the show.
Any questions?
Maybe we should start getting guests on here because these callers are piss poor.
Doug, if you recall, I feel like this is the trajectory. This is the arc of the show. It usually
The first hour is
it's a little rough and tumble. It's a little weak calling, and then we'll get, as long as we get one or two, as long as we keep going up in our voice range.
Tim,
Yo,
how you doing?
I'm fine. Good.
Happy New Year.
Doug, can you close that
We gotta
door?
talk about it.
this.
Yeah. What do we got to talk about?
Us, baby.
What's us?
That movie.
The movie. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about us. Oh, baby. Well, I don't know what to say except I'm in it, and it's.
I hope your part is bigger than what it was in the trailer.
Oh, fuck you. It's not big. It's not a big part. I don't know why everybody makes such a big deal about it. It's it's. I'm not the. There's not a lot of people in the movie. I think that's sort of the reason I got a lot of attention, because there's not a. I don't want to give anything away, but I don't think it's a.
Spill the beans, Tim.
It's a supporting role, and
You have
I
any
don't
lines?
Yes, I have lines.
Remember Jared?
Everybody involved to come up that I've seen since said, "Hey, listen, man, you're great in the movie. You're great in the movie. You're great in the movie." I said, "Well, I'm just doing what I'm told." Yeah,
Playing your part, Tim.
I'm doing my part. I'm there to help, but don't have any expectations that I'm going to kind of like take over the movie. It's going to be my big starring vehicle. I'm just in the movie. I've been in a lot of movies. Count how many movies I've been in, Doug. Now.
1, 2.
I've been in probably 10 movies now. I want to rack them up. I want to do 2, 3. My goal is always to do 2 or 3 movies a year, and I've been doing it.
$1 billion comedy, Bridesmaids, this.
Ant-Man, Flower, another big one. I can't remember what it is right now.
I wish IMDb would. Make it be
that movie.
movies.
Oh, the Vacation, the Griswold's Vacation movie. I was in that.
Chevy Chase.
Fantastic Four. No, with Ed Helms, the remake. What else, Doug?
Us, you played Mr. Tyler in Us.
Okay.
The Emperor's Newest Clothes.
That's TV. Let's just talk movies.
Well, I don't know what the hell's what. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Bingo. Poor Doug's looking at my IMDb.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I look at it often. Your biggest fan. That's a TV show.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
You don't even know?
No. I know what it is.
You just show up.
It was some web thing. It was a promotional thing I did. Anyways, I'm happy.
Sundowners.
I tell you though.
What's Sundowners?
Oh,
Tim?
you know what? Sundowners is good. It was a little independent movie that I was in from Canada. But you guys should check it out. It's online somewhere probably. But I went up there and did this movie. It's it's like a hipster Hangover, if I have to say that. It's sort of these two guys on a wedding photographers, kind of have a wild weekend. But anyways,
Wedding Crashers vibe.
And it's well made. And the guys in it are really good.
Is it out?
It's out. Yeah, you can see it probably on, I don't know where it is. It's on iTunes or something. But I did this little part in it where I'm like the guy's boss, and they just said, come up and improvise everything. And I'm like in a different movie. I'm in like a totally different movie. It's nuts. I'm nuts in it. And I think I'm very funny, but I don't like to brag, but it's weird. It feels like I'm in a different movie. So it's I think you guys would laugh.
Sundowners?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a movie from 1960.
That's it.
That's it, huh?
It was a time traveling film.
Whoa.
Anyways.
Roger Ebert doesn't give it a great.
He's dead.
Well, he's still doing reviews. I don't know if he's. RogerEbert.com
Bigsby
is
Bear.
live.
Somebody said I was in Bigsby Bear.
Yeah, but I'm looking at. Let me continue. Sundowners, Flower, Bigsby Bear, Kuso.
Kuso, yeah, everyone loved Kuso. That was the gross out movie of Sundance last year. Got everybody
Vacation.
all set. Vacation, that's right.
What do you mean Vacation? National Lampoon's
Yeah,
Vacation?
it was the Ed Helms remake.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
I co-wrote that and was in it.
That's about it.
No, there's more.
Something called Pound House you were in.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff there, Tim.
Hey, man, I'm just racking up them residuals. That's what it's all about.
Bridesmaids,
of course. That was my big breakout. Terry, of course. There's another one
What's
in there.
Terry?
It was a movie John C. Reilly was in. It was an independent film. We were not in scenes together.
Wait, is that the one with the kid?
Terry Bruce Hiplo. What else?
I saw that movie.
It's about a kid in high school drama, comedy drama, dramedy.
Yeah, I saw it. Didn't remember your part.
Not the Terrys, though.
That's about it.
Nah, there's a couple more in there, but anyway.
The Attic Expeditions.
Yes, I was an intern on that movie when I was in college.
Like you played an orderly.
I was an orderly. You can't tell it's me. I've watched it to see if you could tell. It's just like the back of somebody.
Okay, listeners, watch the Attic Expeditions and see if you can find Tim.
Okay. All right. Anyways, let's take another call.
Let's take another call, everybody.
I got Who do we have? Hi. Who do we have here? Who's there? Hey, who's there?
Hello?
Hello. Who's there?
It's Caleb from Canada.
Caleb from Canada. How can I help you today, Caleb from Canada?
Well, Tim, it's a new year, it's a new me, and I need some American advice on how to get the nice Canadian girls. I'm having a hard time.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Well, I have no idea, man. I mean,
How do you get the what? The girlfriend?
The American girls?
The American girls.
Are you living on the border?
Girls. I'm north of the border.
Well, I mean, so...
Climb over the slats and get in here.
I had no advice for you guys about...
Come on, baby, light my fire.
I got no advice for... You are obsessed with these ISO tracks. Did you get the
Try to set the night on fire.
Tim, you know what? I went to...
Did you get that Knopfler isolated vocal from Sultans of Swing?
Ooh, I'm going to find that
No,
next.
somebody...
I'll find that
they
next.
tweeted it to
they
you.
did?
Yeah.
I went to...
Check out Guitar
Standby
George.
Canadian caller, but I went to a...
Stay on the line.
I went to a hot springs, one of the kinds that's just out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking maybe there's going to be some hippies there or something, but it was like so on the nose. They were straight up singing The Doors a cappella.
What were they singing? Which one?
Everyone...
This is the end.
Everyone, they were singing...
My
this song,
only friend, the end.
They were singing this, and they all had dreads, and they were all naked. And
No time to wallow in the
beautiful.
mire. Try now, you can only lose. And our love become a funeral pyre.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Wait, are you saying you like Dire Straits, Tim?
Yeah. But don't play any of that because I'm going to get dinged on YouTube. Somebody needs to answer me this.
I don't think acapellas get dinged.
No, but can I pay to play this music? Can I pay like a radio license fee, Aristotle? Can we have somebody look into that? Careful, Doug. We're going to get dinged. I'm nervous, though.
Why does it say acapella and then it's not?
No, check out Guitar George. He knows all the chords. I was just listening to them yesterday. I wish I could play him. There's a song, Lady Writer.
Tim, remember that song "Money for Nothing"?
Yeah, that's what you were playing.
Yeah, but do you know that
there's a bad word in there?
There's a bad word, and they just played that on the radio without. They didn't beep that.
No,
on the radio.
no, that wasn't considered that bad of a
80s,
word. But
that was fine.
But listen, I was just listening to that song yesterday.
Damn yo-yos, that's the way you do it.
Don't play that part.
Guitar on MTV.
I'm gonna play it because this is your band that you like.
That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. No, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Let me tell you.
All right, stop it. Turn it off.
Maybe get
I was listening to that the other day, and it strikes you hard. It's the F word, as in he goes, look at that, you know, that ingot. And he does it a couple times, but then I realized the whole song, it's like a Randy Newman song. The whole song is from the perspective, is from the point of view of these guys, in the video.
They're installing microwave ovens.
Yeah, they're like.
By the way, how hard is it to install a microwave oven?
Back in those days, it was. But they're also installing refrigerators and microwave ovens, whatever. Custom made deliveries.
I know.
But it's sort of like
in today's age, they would be like, "How dare they say such a word?" They wouldn't understand. People don't understand context and.
No. Well, that was
They're writing it from a point of view of a.
I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think in the early '80s that word wasn't quite as untouchable. Whatever. It was not as bad as it is considered now. But things change. But I think it wasn't him. It wasn't Knopfler saying like, "Look at this." It was. From the perspective of these blue-collar guys looking on the TV and being like, look at these guys. I should have learned to play the guitar. I should have learned to play them drums. Look at them working. That's the way you do it. Your money for nothing, Doug.
And the worst thing that could happen, you get a blister on their thumb.
Yeah. I like he says a pistol on you. Oh, a blister. Oh, yeah, I thought he was saying a pistol.
Listen.
Little finger. Baby, get a blister on your thumb.
Well, you know what? He's going to get the blister because if you look at Knopfler, he plays the guitar with his finger and his thumb. He doesn't use a pick.
Yeah, that is a weird finger to get a blister on as a guitarist. You know, his thumb doesn't really.
Exactly. It's weird that the Maytag guy would know that.
Little finger. Baby, get a blister on your thumb.
Or the little finger even.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next. Who's on this Canadian dope?
It's Caleb the Canadian. I'm trying to deduce about blisters and relationships, but I'm not finding out.
All right. Well, I have no idea what for you. I have no advice for relationships.
I'm sorry.
Except
what happened? Back up, Caleb. So you moved to the States or what?
No. I messed that up. I'm trying to get American advice to get Canadian girls because I'm too nice. That's what I need.
Wouldn't those girls up there in Canada love the nice guy?
You're too nice?
Yeah, I'm too nice.
No. Whenever someone says they're too nice, that's not the problem.
I just don't know how to make a move, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, how old are you?
24. Just turned 24.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Have you ever been in a serious relationship?
Learn how to play guitar.
I was, last year. Okay,
and what happened there?
It didn't go well. Tim.
What happened? She turned out to be a lunatic, or she left you because you don't clean yourself right?
No, she kind of had a breakdown. It was not too great.
Breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me. Breakdown.
It was not. She would no dancing.
Breakdown. Tom Petty.
I tried.
This guy giving advice, but he keeps getting distracted by classic rock song references.
That is advice.
I say listen to Tom Petty. He'll have all the answers for you, man. I don't know. It's real. Love is strange. Woo, lot of people.
So is there a great Tom Petty song? Because I'm a little young. I need some recommendations.
Caleb, what do you do?
You got lucky,
Caleb,
babe.
do you have a job, or are you doing maple syrup?
Yeah,
or what are you doing?
I'm a video producer, editor. I did marketing this last year.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen.
Composer.
The right one, she'll come along. You try to make it work. You be respectful.
Sometimes it could be much harder when you feel like you're becoming a target. Gotta embrace the bullseye and let them all know.
What the hell?
Something called break. That's breakdown a cappella.
Breakdown.
The
buster, looking in the mind of a monster, looking for anybody who wanna record us.
Tell you what, you know what? This is a great audience. This the office hours listenership. What town are you in? What township are you calling from?
I'm calling in between Calgary and Edmonton in Alberta. So it's a little nowhere town, and it's minus 20.
You're north of Calgary.
North of Calgary.
My wife is from Edmonton.
No way.
Oh yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Oh
I did not
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, she grew up there and all that, you know. So
you understand Canadians then, Tim?
This is amazing. All my in-laws.
Sitting in his nowhere land.
He's a nowhere man.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, Tim, hook him up with a listener. Listeners, there's probably some.
Yeah, there's
some people listening from
men or women on the call that could.
That'd be great.
And Phil Braun has a good message for you. Says the trick is not being concerned about rejection. Go up. You see a pretty girl at a restaurant or a bar.
Creep up on her.
Creep, baby.
Go creep in. Make her feel really uncomfortable. Hey, excuse me. You want to see a magic trick? You could do one of those pickup artist things. Learn how to do magic tricks.
Yeah. I like that.
Make a coin disappear before her eyes, and she will be melted in your hands.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I tell you what, he's got to get out of the middle of nowhere. Caleb, move
down to Calgary, baby.
Move down to Toronto or one of those other ones, you know?
How are you doing? What town are you in?
Lacombe.
What is it?
Lacombe, Alberta.
What is it?
Lacombe.
Lacombe. How are you doing video production in Lacombe? Like how much need for that is there?
It's really hard, man.
Yeah.
There's already like 2 other guys in town who does it, and it was hilarious because I was at this bar for my friend's birthday last month, and I don't usually hang out with film student people, but there was like a bunch of film students at this bar, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, we got this business class in our film school," and they're like, "Our professor said you got to get in that corporate video, man. There's like nobody in Central Alberta doing that," and I'm like.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're right. And there's like
15,
15, and I'm like, if this is the kind of advice they're giving these film student kids, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the future of the industry.
Well, listen, my friend, you are a young man. You've got the world in front of you. You've got a lot of. You're already a smart guy because you're listening to my show.
Yeah.
That's a sign of brilliance. And you've got a lot of talent. You got a lot of raw talent. So you're going to be just fine. You a good-looking guy, or are you a big fat weirdo?
I'm pretty good-looking. I got curly hair.
Yeah, baby.
Pretty
the
tall,
girls love the curly hair, baby, especially on the pubes.
Yeah.
How are your pubes? If your hair on your head is curly, your pubes got to be curly.
Double curly.
It's a double curl.
The curtains match the floor, as they say, so it's all good.
Do you wear any facial hair, or do you keep it clean?
I pretty clean.
Little scruff like me, like your Uncle Tim?
Just like you, Uncle Tim, yeah.
Now, how long is your curly hair on the top? Are we talking?
Oh gosh, like 7 inches.
Ooh.
You mean when it's tight, or when you pull it out?
When I pull it out, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
that's a tight curl.
Are you looking like Gabe Kaplan or something? Or?
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, not quite Jimi Hendrix. That's my 2019 objective. I'm about one week there, so I'm getting there.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. I really
all the
appreciate
best.
it.
Let's take another call. Hope for the best. I do have to address a few things. Show's flying by. Yeah, Vic Berger here. That's what we're looking for. Anybody on the line?
Who's here?
Any rats?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, there's something.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling good.
Thank you. How can I help you today?
I was wondering, came to my mind, how people explain them and...
Wait, you broke up there.
You're breaking up. Start again.
Start again with a clear, crisp voice.
Okay. So people talk about the mind a lot, like it's separate from the brain. But how come we can't just say all these things are happening in the brain? Why do we have to bring the mind into it? Why does it have to happen somewhere else?
I don't know, man. How am I supposed to know? What am I, Grey's Anatomy now?
Just looking for an opinion.
That's interesting. I think the brain, I say the brain, the mind, I think they're interchangeable to me. I think some people might think that the mind refers maybe more to your consciousness, and the brain refers to the organ itself and the functions it does. The consciousness is a special part of what the brain does, but the brain obviously does other things, which is like control our organs and all that other stuff. I think that's a pretty good answer, don't you think, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the mind is the mind, the brain is the big ball of goop.
Yeah,
and
the brain.
The mind is the thing floating in there.
The brain is the mind, but the mind isn't necessarily the brain.
Okay.
Like, you can take your mind and download it to a thumb drive, but you can't take your brain. The brain is just the thumb drive of your head.
But it also does other things. Don't forget about that. Don't be dumb. Everybody, don't be dumb. I want to just talk quickly. I thought I would get a call about this. Maybe I will. Let's see if the next call is about this. Give me the next call.
The Golden Globe winner, the method
those
of the
Golden Globes are
Kaplinsky?
Those Golden Globes.
Kaplinsky method. I never heard of that show. I looked it up, Tim. So funny. I saw I binged it last night.
Who's there?
Hey, this is Peter.
Hey, Peter. Peter the Pumpkin Eater is here.
I actually don't like pumpkins, but I have a movie idea for you guys.
Oh, great. I need more ideas.
Okay.
It's not like I don't have a giant fucking list of ideas that nobody wants to do. Go ahead.
I get that. Here's a good one, though. All right, so you, Tim, and Doug Pound, you're going to be cops, all right? Some real inner-city cops, and Eric Wareheim is a...
Oh, you tried it. I could feel that coming from a mile away. Anyways, I felt like the Golden Globes were a fucking joke. I mean, they are every year. This is what boggles my mind, is it's totally meaningless. So here's what happens. There's this Hollywood Foreign Press Association, whatever that means. Does anyone ask what that means? It's a bunch of people from Spain and Portugal and Antarctica, wherever, who have these cushy jobs where they write for, like, you know, the London Times, and they come to they report on Hollywood. They report on movies, I guess, or whatever. They have an association.
It's the propaganda wing of the film industry,
I guess. But anyways, they get this group together and they give out an award. And there's a lot of awards this time of year. You have the Critics' Choice Award and the Directors Guild Award and the SAG Awards and the Oscars and all these things. These guys figured out, Dick Clark figured out, somebody working for Dick Clark said, we can put this on TV and we can have our own new award show. But time after time, every year you're like, well, this seems meaningless, because, like, how is the Kaplinsky method the best, like, the funniest show? I mean, how is Bohemian Rhapsody the best movie of the year? Like, what the hell? So it's clearly a meaningless. I don't know if people are paying to win or what. I've heard that. I don't know how you would, but there's a lot of lobbying that goes on. And it's a totally, I mean, they're all degrees of meaninglessness, but at least you could say the Academy Awards are, it's like, you know, if there was a association of car dealerships, and every year they got together to have a party and they awarded the guy that sold the most cars. I understand that. That's like a thing to do. So, you know, I get that there can be those things. It's fine, and it's a nice thing to do. But the Golden Globes is a total mystery to me.
Tim, let's start a new award show.
Now we're talking.
This, you know, something that it's just people voting on what they think is the best film, and they watch them all. They watch them all. Indies.
Yeah.
You know, the funniest TV show, and they're just racking up laughs. Which ones are people laughing at?
All right.
Okay? No one's paying off. No one makes any money on it. You know what I mean?
So I don't know what the deal is with those things.
This is the Rotten Tomatoes.
What's confusing to me is, like, if it's so clearly a scam and a fraud.
Well, that's a scam too. Never mind.
It's a fraud. You have Bohemian Rhapsody, which I didn't see, but I can safely put money.
You didn't see it?
How could I see it?
How could you say it's definitely not the best movie? If you
How could it be? How could it be? First of all, I saw Roma. I saw a couple other movies that were very good. So, anyways, my point is, how can you then, if you're somebody like Glenn Close or any of these people that win, how can you get up there and be all emotional and be like, thank you so much, I can't believe this. I can't believe thank you so much. This means so much to me. How could you be that emotional about something that like a minute later, a Bohemian Rhapsody wins? I love Queen, okay? But I know, I can assure you it's probably not the best movie of the year. But anyways, who cares? I mean, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Anyways, let's take another call. Getting fully assaulted today. But you know, I think the problem is, and I understand why this is happening. Yes. Hey, if you play Freddie Mercury a cappella, that's pretty neat. It's pretty incredible.
Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on. Nothing really matters.
Thank you. The reason we're getting these trolls is because we can only accept one call at a time, as opposed to me being able to choose. I can usually rat these fuckers out and ignore them. But we'll keep taking them. I don't give a shit. Come on. Bring it to me. Call in. Who's on the call?
Hey, Tim. This is Daniel.
What do you got for me, Daniel?
Any updates on your stand-up special?
Nope. Anything else?
Yeah, related to that. Have you heard of Norm Macdonald doing the Coke versus Pepsi?
No.
I can send you a link if you want. He does like a similar bit. There's a thing on YouTube.
Is it am I referenced, or is it just a similar bit?
No, it's like the same bit. It's
anti-comedy.
Yeah, he mentions Sierra Mist.
Oh, well, it's an honor. I'm a big fan.
Cool.
All right, you know a lot about stand-up comedy. It's one of your main interests.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that you ripped him off or that he ripped you off, but I just
send it along. I'd be curious to see it.
It's a thing that like, a bunch of people were doing.
I'm seeing it on Reddit here. I could read what I'm reading here, Tim. Looks like you ripped off Norm Macdonald.
I've been doing that since 2000. When? I've been doing that since your days at the Big Fish from 2008. But
right, the one from Norm is from 2010, and that's after your clips.
There you go.
Okay, here's what it says. Norm version from 2010. Multiple versions of the same joke by Tim Heidecker. He's well known for this joke as early as 2007. Sorry, Norm.
Bye-bye, Norm.
You are busted. No, I think, and also there was something else that came up with Norm. People misconstrued something that he said about us.
I'll tell you something about this restaurant. I don't know about it in here. If you got some...
I'm not.
Oh no, don't play.
We're not going to play it.
But I tweeted back and forth with him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan, and my son and I love watching your stuff." So I don't know. I think we're all good. I'd love to. I mean,
his son Ronald.
Ronald McDonald. You got me. Who's next? Who is there? Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself, Tim?
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Michael, calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Did you call in before about your band?
Yeah, I did. I'm the guy. I was calling him in the
Cool. How did the show go?
Oh, it was really good, actually. Yeah, like I think your little shout out actually, helped people really
right,
come out.
Give me my cut.
So
Give me my taste.
I gotta send you that check.
Yeah.
It's in the mail.
Give me that piece. Piece at the door. I'll take 10%.
Yeah, it was awesome. Also, I've been calling in a bunch about my ear.
Oh God.
And I just wanted to give the final update on that.
That's a good quote from the show. I've been calling in a bunch about my ear. That's the level of content we're developing here.
That's what this is. That's what I love about this show. So yeah. Final update. My ear is actually.
Thank God it's the final update.
Okay, final update. Ear is perfect now.
Perfecto.
My ear has never been working better.
Good.
And guess what? I never went to the doctor. I just waited it out.
Just let that dry Arizona heat take out that mucus and wax.
Oh yeah, it was great. However, I do have a speaking of medical things, I'm calling in because I have a doctor's appointment today, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but I made an appointment and I didn't write down what time I made the appointment for, but I know it's today.
Okay.
It's definitely today.
Do you have the phone number of the doctor?
I can call them, but every time I call the front desk there, it seems like they're really, really annoyed that I'm calling.
Well, that's their problem.
Yeah.
You're a patient. You should be. You go. That's you're paying for that opportunity.
Exactly.
Sounds like he's patient. They're not patient.
That's right.
Exactly. Doug's got the right idea.
All you got to do is call them up and say, "Hey, I'm trying to confirm my appointment for today. Can you let me know what time it's at? My name is, Claude Blobler, whatever your name is, Joe Schmo." And then you get your answer.
Exactly.
You better get on that, though, dude. What if it's at 10 a.m.?
Well, I know it's somewhere around 2, 3, 4. It's afternoon.
Okay,
so
fine.
I am
good. Well, it seems like you've got it all figured out. I don't need to tell you anything else. All right, thanks for calling.
Wait, Tim, I need help.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You're a big boy.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I really don't. I don't have much else to say. But thanks for Thanks for the. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
I put out this song last week, "Sand and Death," and Doug, thank you for your compliment.
Yeah, it's one of your best. Simply the best.
Don't play that. I had enough of it. But I knew I was going to get dinged on this, and I think a lot of people out there, the trolls, but also just probably regular people, normal people, had this perception of it that it was pro-war, that I was, suggesting, that I was for. You just seem like a mistake.
I'm doing art. Okay. I'm doing music concrete while you talk.
So I just want to be clear. I mean, it was specifically, first of all, it's from the perspective, the voice of Donald Trump. And as I was watching his.
Do you even need to explain this?
Maybe I shouldn't, but you understood it, right? I mean, it was a guy. Right. I'm anti-war.
It's like that Dire Straits song. You're singing a song from the point of view.
And people are saying, well, I don't like Donald Trump, but I think it's good that we're getting out of Syria. Fine, but does it seem to be being handled in a responsible way? And by the way, he's already backed away from that. He's already said now that he's not. That's changed. So I would listen when in 2003. Before I had my TV shows or anything, I was out there in New York marching in the streets before we went into Iraq. I'm against intervention in the Middle East, but there's also nuance and there's a complicated world out there. And I think from my perspective, that speech he was giving where he said sand and death, he kept saying, this is about. All we're talking about here is sand and death. Well, that struck me as a maniacal thing to say and a deeply cynical thing to say from our president. And so it inspired me to write the song. And from his perspective, it was simply that we should get out of there. Why? Because, in my opinion, he thinks we should get out of there is because there's no financial gain to be there. There's no way to extract oil or minerals or anything from that part of the world. And that I feel like he's got eyes on other parts of the world to make some trouble in. So that was where it was coming from. But listen, should we be there at all? It's a complicated question. I don't know if I'm the expert to say, but of course we want less war. We don't want war, and we don't want American imperialism traipsing all over the globe and putting in our, way of life. It's not for everybody, but I don't know. So if you just kind of blithely write to me saying, well, I guess you're pro-war now, you can go jump off a cliff into a lake, a deep lake, so you don't die, and you have a nice swim. But anyways, anybody want to call in and talk? That's my opinion on that. And I think I send it to all my friends, people understand me, they get me, they love me. I'm very loved. But
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you? What's your What's your name?
I'm good. This is McKenna from Jersey.
You know what? New policy. Only the fairer gender shall be welcome on my show in the future, except for Phil.
That's an amazing policy.
Because there's the full elimination of trolls right there. Because there are only these little pathetic little
proud girls
25-year-old white boys. Little pieces of shit. Losers. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I'm just talking about these losers, these 20-something white boys who have everything handed to them on a silver platter, and they can't make a living, they can't make a life for themselves. They're still stuck in their parents' basement. They have no life, they have no career, they have no one loves them, they have no love for anyone else.
I know a lot about that because I'm a stripper. These are those are my clients every day.
That's your bread and butter, Tim. She needs that.
All right, well, these guys are going to start running out of dollar bills, sweetheart. How'd you get into this life? See, Doug, you stick with the show long enough, you get an interesting call. We'll have a nice conversation with. What's your name again?
McKenna.
McKenna. And where are you working out of?
Jersey.
Oh, stripper in Jersey. What do you work at, the Bada Bing? Oh!
Pretty close to there, but yeah.
Oh, my God. So how old are you? How'd you get into this line of work?
I'm 19, and 1 month I needed rent really badly. And that's how I got it. And then I realized that I made far too much money to, not do it. And now I'm using all of my money going into debt to come to San Francisco specifically for the purposes of On Cinema Live.
Wait a minute. You're coming to On Cinema Live?
Yeah.
With all
I've never been to California. I don't do anything.
Well, you're only 19. You shouldn't be doing anything. When I was 19, I probably hadn't gone to Florida a couple times. Listen, that's a little young to be stripping like that. Are they allowed? Are you allowed to be 18 or what?
Yeah, the place I'm at, you have to be 18. So it's
full nude or what are we talking about? Full nude or just topless? Or?
Yeah. I was working at one that wasn't full nude, and then I was like, why not? And then so I switched to one that was.
What's the difference? I mean, listen, a little pair of panties or not? You're just.
The one I was working at before was strictly bikini, you couldn't even take your top off. This one, it's if you don't want to wear anything, you don't have to, and I like that,
I wouldn't want to wear anything. If I'm going to do it, I just want to be fully nude.
Exactly.
I don't want to feel like because if I'm.
I was at.
What is your? Can I ask you what your stage name is?
Cat.
Cat. And is this an up-and-up place? Is this a legal establishment? You're not doing any funny business backstage? You're not doing any drugs and selling drugs and anything like this?
I'm sure there's funny business that does go on. I mean, it's not for me, but...
Kat, let me ask you this.
Okay, we're switching into my stripper name now. Cool, that's what we're doing.
Now, have some respect, Doug.
No,
this is McKenna, and she's not working right now. If you want to call her Kat, then you pay up.
McKenna...
I have respect for sex workers. I am not judgmental of what you're doing now.
I'm not judgmental.
And Doug is here disrespecting you, and I'm going to put an end to it. This is McKenna,
he owes me
and
that
she is a supporter.
$25 stipend.
That's right. You're getting your $25 stipend in San Francisco. I'm going to get you some free merch.
Okay.
I thought there was you ever see that Curb Your Enthusiasm where he
If it was the last season, the answer is no. I didn't watch that. Well,
anyway. Why don't you dress up like a librarian or something? And start off very conservatively dressed, very conservative, I don't know, a shawl. Walk around with your hair tied up in a bun and books. Maybe you're carrying some library books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
start off like that.
That is the problem. I haven't been to one of these. Honestly, for
I think that would be more an interesting strip club. Where
on my mother's eyes,
the women are very clothed.
On my mother's eyes, I've not been to one of these establishments in a very long time. But it did feel like do you come out just fully nude already, or do you do a little tease, a little strip?
No, I mean, I go out.
That's what I'm saying. Put some more layers on.
And it's like a slow tease kind of thing. I mean, that's so it gets the money flowing.
Yeah. You have some repeat customers. Do you have people that come in and
I do, yeah. I have regulars. Some of them start to definitely get way too close. So then, I have to kind of cut that off.
McKenna, what is it that that you're interested in doing with your life? I mean, do you see you
That's
continuing
a fucking loaded question, but all right.
No, I'm just asking because I know this is something you did. It wasn't like you didn't grow up dreaming of being a stripper. I mean, maybe she coulda. Maybe you could, but anyways.
I don't know.
You're still figuring it out. You're making some money. You're living in Jersey.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure it out right now. I want to be like a writer mostly. Like
if you want to be a writer, you better start.
Horror.
If you want to be a writer, stop dropping "like" from your sentence. I want to be like a writer. You're going to be a writer. Use words. Have respect for words.
That's correct. You're right. Yeah, I've tried, but then I always feel like my writing's a failure. So I'm like trying to get myself out of that. Like, I'm constantly putting everything I make down.
I know. Well, you just got to work at it. You're young. You just try doing something creative every day. Whatever it is. Make up a little song or write a little poem. Keep working at it. I feel like maybe. What's nice about what you're doing right now at your work is, it probably gives you a lot of good free time, right? So it gives you a lot
absolutely. I am. For a while, I was trying to like hold down a quote unquote like full-time real job and then just do this on the side. But that was just so stressful, and it's so disheartening when you like can make way more money in an hour, or I could go make $10 an hour working at Hot Topic.
Right.
So it's really hard.
Yeah.
So now it's nice. I actually have all this time off to kind of do shit.
Well, make sure you're using your time wisely. I mean, you're young. You can screw around and do some dumb stuff and enjoy your life. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, you're not even asking me for advice. I don't know why I'm giving it, but I feel like.
No, I appreciate it.
Some people can get stuck in a rut doing that kind of stuff. I bet, or it could lead to the wrong. It could lead down the wrong path. I guess, maybe not. I'm sure there's good examples of people that do that and they come out great, or they just love doing it and that's what they do and that's who they are.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I'm trying to figure out right now, like what direction my life does need to go in.
Yeah. All right. Well, we wish you the best, McKenna, and we'll see you at the Palace of Fine Arts, San Francisco. If anybody else wants to see McKenna in the flesh, I won't point you out. You'll have to introduce yourself, take a guess.
In the flesh, Tim?
There are not a lot of women at these shows, so she shouldn't be too hard to pick out. That's this Saturday in San Francisco, the Bay Area, Palace of Fine Arts. It's going to be a tremendous show. All right, we'll take one more caller or two more callers, whoever many callers.
When are we going to do Office Hours live?
I'm talking about doing that again. Thank you, everybody that came to the Los Angeles show. And McKenna, take care.
All right, we'll take.
Who's there?
It's Andy.
Oh, it's Andy. Like I'm supposed to know who that is.
Paul McCartney impression on the live show.
Oh, that was terrific. Yeah. Sorry, you haven't become a household name with me yet.
Oh well, it was a great pleasure.
Take off your top, Andy, and then we'll talk. You know what I mean?
What you saying?
What you saying? You know. Have you heard his new song with the auto-tune on it?
Oh my God, he's gone completely over it.
He's lost it. He's bonkers. Have you heard it, Doug? It's called. What's it called? Had Enough or something?
Wait, For You or something?
No.
A newer one?
Yeah, there's a newer one called Had Enough. Had Enough. He can do it.
Not enough or something.
What is it?
It's just like it seems like a parody you'd see in a movie.
Yeah.
Like a rock star over the hill. I don't know.
I think it's actually, I was listening to it, I was like, you know what, it's actually like a nice song.
I mean, Get Enough.
Get Enough. It's a nice song.
There was a time when we walked by the docks.
But his voice is not there anymore, and
his recent live shows have been like pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Like his vocals are, I mean, his voice is like noticeably shot.
Watching the trucks rolling by.
Trucks rolling by.
You know, I love I'm a stone, you know.
Do you remember
this might be the non-auto-tune version. Let me hear it. Keep going.
How they reflected the rain on the road.
That's pretty good.
I believe that you loved me alone.
I think this was real. This might be. They might have turned it off.
Now and then I see you.
No, it's on there.
There it goes.
All right, that's enough. Yeah, I mean, I get it, Phil. He's 80, and it's fine. But we can have opinions too.
I love Emma Stone.
Oh yeah, I love Emma. Emma came by, and she just had a great time. We did the video.
She's vegetarian. I'm vegetarian.
Yeah. All right. What else you got for me, Andy?
Okay, let's get down to business. I live in Brooklyn. I moved
here.
Yeah, surprise. I moved here to be close to my girlfriend. She cheated on me the night before I got here.
Oh, geez. How'd you
Give her
find
a
out?
second chance.
How'd you find out?
When I was like, she drove over to move my stuff in, and I kind of knew at that point. It was with a girl, so it was like sort of a
Just go with him, or she went with him.
Doug's driving me nuts. What?
You're driving me nuts.
I'm trying to do some sounds from
I know,
my
but
job.
I'm trying to get the facts.
All right,
what happened now?
Okay, so she met a girl on a set who was I'm trying to PA here, but she got some gigs in the summer, and she met the PA that like gets other like the smaller PAs.
It's a sexy show we have today.
Yeah, we're doing some lingo here. Yeah, so and then she crashed at her house because she lives outside the city, and then they eventually
hooked up.
Touched tongues, yeah.
Okay, and then but how did you just find out? Did she tell you or what?
Okay, so we were like long distance, and I was on Cape Cod. I was on Nantucket, very bougie. Now I was visiting Nantucket, and I was super drunk, and she FaceTimed me after like being in Croatia for a while, for like 10 days, and then I was super drunk, and then she like told me like I want to fuck this girl. So she basically broke up with me over FaceTime, but yeah.
But it could be worse. It's for a woman. That's another gender. That's something you can't offer.
No,
right, Tim?
Yeah,
if you're gonna get cheated on, might as well be on a different gender.
I guess.
I'm trying to look on the bright side of things over here.
I don't know. I think you should.
Side, Doug.
Wait, what?
She kind of said after, she's like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. I was like, yeah, to your point, Doug. It was like, yeah, that's okay. That's cool. It sucks to be cheated on, but yeah. And then we reconciled later, and it was like, yeah, I'm a bisexual. So I was just like, fuck it. Okay, you just like, we're horny.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's a great match, you two.
Yeah, not a great match, you could say.
Well, at least you're not living in the middle of nowhere, Alberta. At least you're in Brooklyn.
True. And I get pussies from time to time.
All right, thanks, Andy. It's been great talking to you. I hope everything turns out.
Real sexy show, Tim.
No, man. All right, let's take another call.
Do you know how to navigate this Brooklyn area? I know you lived here.
Is this the same guy?
Yeah, it is. You got to go to Shea Stadium. We made a big splash there. Did a big concert there. Shea.
Shea is trashed.
Oh yeah. All right, thanks. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of it all. But it's gone pretty well today, reasonably well. I mean, calls have been pretty good. We had Jon Glaser on the show, and I have a busy day today. I have meetings out the wazoo. I don't sure if I want to miss anything. Philly shows were good. We talked about the Golden Globes. We talked about Syria and troops.
Tim, remember when you said you were kind of intimidated by Jon Glaser back in the day?
Yeah.
Remember, we were on tour, I think, last year, year and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
And you guys were hanging out at that Yola Tango show. It was you and Jon Glaser,
That's
and
how
David
we do.
Cross. That's how I felt. I'm sitting over here like, I'm just a nobody. These guys are so cool.
No, you're beloved.
I was like, I
still feel intimidated around David Cross. He's tough. He's like a tough cookie. I don't mean to say Jon Glaser was tough. I think I didn't sound right. I felt like he's
I know what you mean. It's like people seem like they're not approachable. That's all I'm saying. I just felt like, well, I have nothing. They don't want to talk to me.
Right.
That's kind of just what.
And I think maybe people out there have that feeling in their life with all kinds of different people. And but Glaser was always like someone was like, that guy is so great, and but he's too cool for me. And but then we ended up he has kids, I have kids, we have a lot of nice things in common. So we try to get together when he's in LA or I'm in New York. I went over to his house last time I was in New York. He hosted me over. I got to sit around and hang out with his kids and a nice time.
Let me ask you this: what's he glazing? Donuts?
He could be glazing donuts or vase. He could be doing a vase. Good stuff.
You got to be more specific.
One more call, and then we'll start wrapping the show down. We have 7 more minutes. I could play Hey Jude, which is 7 minutes long, or I could take a couple calls.
Hey, let's play Hey Jude.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, hello. Oh, good. Fine. We could do my European accent for the first time this year.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Laurent. I'm calling from Brussels.
Yes, I know.
Part
of course.
Your international fans.
Yes. Of course.
And I'm. I was wondering, are you following the R. Kelly stuff?
Oh well, not really. I haven't watched that show, but he's seems like a true villain, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he is. But I'm totally surprised how it's possible for someone to live a life like that.
I know. People do terrible things. People do terrible things every day, and somehow they've created a structure around them where they can be isolated, insulated from any kind of repercussions somehow. It seems so exhausting.
But are then people are all people dependent on him, or afraid to speak out? Or
that could be, because some of these people create a life. They create a living for a lot of people, and it's sort of like when you're it's very easy to look from the outside and say, well, I would not stand for this, but everybody is their own person, and they have their own problems and their own worries and their own anxieties about what if I'm working for R. Kelly and I'm like, if I leave this situation, I'm totally out in the middle of the street now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You should,
watched it 6 episodes in a row, and it's been on my mind all day long.
I'll check it out. Is it good? Is it well made? Is it well made?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except that it's a bit sensationalized. So I don't like when they turn a villain into a super villain with ominous music and everything.
Okay.
Because you're telling a real story.
Right. You don't need that. Just give us the fact. Just the facts, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Is there a show?
Where do you find the show? Where is it? On Netflix?
I found it on YouTube. It's simply everywhere on YouTube.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad they're not getting any copyright infringements for just posting a TV show.
No, I don't think so. But perhaps it's being deleted. But right now, if on YouTube we put R. Kelly. But you're at the end of the show. I have a question that could lead to a lot of discussion. Can I ask it, or do you think it's for another time?
Go ahead. We have 4 minutes left. If not, we can pick it up on it next
But
week.
it's on the issue. Sometimes I wonder. Some of my favorite comedians, and perhaps the favorite comedians from the past. I used to be a big fan of Ricky Gervais, but and then in my opinion, he turned a bit sour.
Yeah.
And I get a bit annoyed when comedians frame the issue of. Sometimes I think they're being a bit of a crybaby when their jokes are received with backlash, and you have one fool in the audience that shouts out that he doesn't like a joke, and then I don't like it when the comedian becomes plays the victim of a joke that was badly received, because
I don't think I think I've seen his stand-up. I don't personally think he's funny. I mean,
the last one was awful.
I love his shows, but I don't think he's a stand-up comic. I think he's just like has found a revenue stream where people come to the show because he's so famous. But I think he's a pretty widely regarded amongst comedians as not a stand-up comedian.
No, perhaps not. But he's done some good stuff with Stephen Merchant writing The Office. So I held him in very high regard.
Oh, The Office is the greatest, but there's a missing ingredient there that people don't get talked about. That's that's Stephen Merchant.
Carell.
Yeah, of course. Stephen Merchant
and Steve
not
Carell
has high profile, but he's one of the writing talents.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, I don't know what else to say to that except
it's going to lead to a big discussion. Sorry.
It did not really, but everybody,
No, I'm sorry.
Listen, if your job is to speak your mind and speak out and say whatever you want, of course there's going to be people that disagree with you.
But accept that there's backlash, and that if one fool in the audience doesn't like a joke, it doesn't mean that the entire society has become against comedians or something.
No. Listen, there's plenty of free speech. Everyone gets all uptight that people's free speech is getting censored. No, it's the opposite.
It's just all the backlash is just an indicator.
There's going to be companies that don't want to be associated with certain people. I understand that. That's their right too. Okay.
And then let me just say one more thing. I really love the live streams you do on Instagram. And
I was playing music the other day. I was playing some piano.
You just play what people ask. You should.
I wish I was a better piano player.
You should look into Roy Orbison. It would match.
Oh, I've never heard of him. Well, tell me a little bit about him. Does he have full sight? Does he have full 20/20 vision? That would be my
about him, but once you look into him, he's very impressive. He had a band.
Well, I only listen to people, with the exception of Stevie Wonder and I guess Ray Charles. I only enjoy musicians who are fully sighted, have full 20/20
Roy Orbison
sight.
Had a band with Bob Dylan, Tom Waits, Elvis Costello, and whoever. so it's worth looking into.
I'll look at it, but listen, if he's one of these guys who's blind or has trouble seeing, he's probably not going to be for me.
He's
okay.
Not.
Anyways,
thanks for taking my call.
All right, I love you, and I love Brussels. God bless. What's up with you guys banning kosher and halal meats? That's pretty lame.
In Belgium?
Yeah. No?
They're not doing that.
I thought that was somewhere. I think I'm right. But anyways,
there's
you're
always
wrong.
a bit of discussion. Sometimes they don't like the burkas and everything. There's. But it's not because Donald Trump says we're a hellhole that we're a hellhole.
No, I know. You're a wonderful place. Listen, thank you, everybody. Welcome back. It's 2019. We're going to make some good shows this year. And we're going to have fun. We're going to keep talking. We're going to work it out. We're going to have a great year. Give me that music, office hours music. And we're going to really get to know each other this year, Doug. We're going to have fun for once. And we're going to take your calls. And we're going to do funny voices. And we're going to figure out how to play music on this show so we can have listening music. But we don't need music. We should start playing plays like Our Town or plays.
So you know what we could do is we can get some kind of like pitch shifter so we can play the song like slightly out of key.
And then it confuses the algorithm.
And then the robots can't find it.
All right, thanks for listening. I think we'll see you next week. We'll see. All the best. Be good. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.